You know, like you got all this yeasty, you know, they, you know, and I was
They're
like,
shit
oh,
experts.
I told them I'm vegan, and they were like, oh, well, that's the problem is that like you're eating this highly processed fucking soy and wheat that your
Mm-hmm.
body does not recognize as food, and clearly your body's struggling to break it down.
Ugh.
It's an absurd substance posing as food.
Well, those Impossible Burgers, we showed a study the other day that was showing that it's toxic for rats.
Yeah,
They fed rats the Impossible Burger, and the rats are getting sick. It's like,
yeah,
and if you, there's many healthy vegetarian choices, especially like
sure,
some Indian cuisine that's vegetarian. It tastes great, good for you, but it's just vegetables. It's not
right,
that shit. That shit that's mimicking meat, like oh,
yeah.
and seed oils and all the fucking horrible things that people eat that are supposed to be used as industrial lubricants, and they've converted it to food for people. And that's really what seed oils are.
Yeah.
And in high concentrations and high levels of it, it's very inflammatory. There's all these studies done on it. It causes macular degeneration. Like Paul Saladino sent me all these studies that are showing that high levels of seed oils is actually contributing to eyesight diminishing in
I
people.
bet.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What's the really dangerous? Uh, is it unsaturated, polyunsaturated?
Yeah, there's fats that the problem with them is when people cook in them, particularly. They're not so good for salad dressings either. But when people cook in them, they break down under heat, and that causes a lot of inflammation in people's bodies when
Mm,
people cook with those seed oils. Like again, they were originally created because like grapeseed oil. It was created because they were trying to figure out what to do with these grape seeds. Like, oh, maybe we can get oil out of them, process it. But it's like highly processed, and they have to do something to take the smell out of it and the taste out of it, and like really processed shit. And then when you cook with it, it breaks it down and oxidizes it, and it's just terrible for you.
huh.
You're supposed to like cook with like beef tallow is really good to cook with, but there's some saturated fats and there's some natural fats that are good for you. Like avocado oil is good for you. There's oils that are good for you, but those oils are coming from. I mean, avocado is essentially a fruit.
Right.
You know, it's like a
Olive oil
fatty
is
fruit.
good, right?
Olive oil is fantastic for
Yeah.
you. It's like a
Like people in
superfood.
Italy live forever.
Yeah. Well, they also have different wheat over there too. They go over there and eat pasta, and they're dealing with heirloom wheat, right?
Right.
So our wheat has more complex glutens in it, and it's highly
Right.
processed to develop more yield per acre.
I remember in it was like fucking 2011 or something. I'm having dinner with Big J Okerson.
I love Big J.
He's the best. He says, "What's up? What's up with gluten, man? 5 years ago, nobody ever heard of it. Now it's killing everybody."
It's true.
and
It's true.
and I wonder if like the processed the maybe it's the what do you call it, MGO or whatever, modified the modified organism. What do you call it?
Yeah,
Uh,
GMO.
GMO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
genetically modified organisms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're talking about. It's like they've essentially done is taking a normal wheat plant and they've engineered it to create a higher yield. And because of that, there's more complex glutens in it, and it gives your body it's more difficult to break down.
And is
But
that a newer thing?
yeah,
And
it's
so now
more
you've got
recent, but and they don't do it in Italy. Like
right.
they also in
It's
Italy they
illegal
don't
and
use glyphosate. They don't use Roundup.
right.
Like these herbicides. Like there was a study recently that showed there was something what was like 80%. 80% of the people they tested, they found glyphosate in their blood. So you're eating all these plants that have been sprayed with herbicides, and that herbicide shows up in your body. And all these people, these shills, would be like, "Oh, well, it's just a small amount. It's a
Right.
small amount of the poison. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We should keep using it. That's how we're feeding everybody.
Dude,
It's only one way. Got
and,
to take the poison."
and the Monsanto people have at the Monsanto headquarters they serve organic food.
Do they really?
Yeah, it's like
You sure?
I think so. I
Is that true? Google that.
I
That seems like bad PR. Seems like that's gonna get out.
right.
Yeah.
What?
That's hilarious though, if it's true.
Yeah, they don't fucking fuck with their own shit.
Well, we're supposed to be eating organisms in the way that they form in nature. The healthy
Right.
things in nature, healthy fruits, healthy vegetables, healthy animals, and eggs. That's how you're supposed to eat it. That's in factory farming, whether it's both monocrop agriculture in terms of growing food and even growing animals, like we're fucking with things. We're fucking with nature, and there's trade-offs and consequences when you do that. And I think there's definitely people that are just allergic to gluten. But man, I know that when I eat wheat and I eat bread and pasta when I'm in Italy, my body has a different reaction to it. You don't feel as like weighed down. You don't feel as like bloated and those, ugh.
Yeah.
But then again, bread's delicious. Fucking good, man. Nice piece of bread with some butter on it. Oh, so good. Nice fucking slice of lasagna. Woo.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those every now and then things. Like I was in New York City this past weekend, and I ate at this great Italian place called Carbone.
I saw that.
Oh, it was amazing.